pass-by value or pass-by reference. So any computer language are basically divided in two types. Either they are pass-by value or they are pass-by references. So these heavy terms, right? So let's understand these terms first by a particular scenario and example. So consider a situation when there is a professor. They have some notes and student needs those notes. So what if a particular student needs a note and he gives the original notes to that student and the student destroys those original notes and do some manipulations into it, what will happen? Now the another student won't have any notes. So this is called as pass by reference. By this scenario, what is happening is, by pass by reference means you are actually sending the memory address of a variable or the pointer to the memory location into a function. So when you pass a particular memory address to a function, and if into that function, if something modifies to that particular variable, what will happen? Your original variable is modified in the parent where you have started calling this particular method. So this is pass by reference. That is, you are changing the real address. We are changing the value at the real address in the memory. So this is pass by reference. Now second comes pass by value. Now consider a situation, there is again a professor. Some students needs the notes and professor provides the photocopy of notes. What will happen? Even if the student destroys the notes completely, still they have the original copy and they can still provide the photocopies to the other students. So this is pass by value. So what does pass by value means in programmatical terms? Pass by value means that the value of a function parameter is copied into another location of your memory. Rather than passing to the real memory address, you are copying that value in another memory location. Say if you have a memory location X, it has some value ABC. Now you will put that ABC value into another location, say Z. And now you access that ABC value from the Z location. So what will happen, even if you modify ABC to something 1, 2, 3, the real value at the memory location X will remain the same and it won't affect your real original value. So this is pass by value, that you just copy something into the, while passing the particular variable into particular method, and even if method changes something, your original method calling that particular function will not have a changed value into its own. So this was all about pass by value, pass by reference. Now let's get back to our real question, that is Java pass by value or pass by reference? You've seen this animal class earlier also, right? So what is this class all about? This particular class has an instance variable i's, right? So first I'll tell you why is it pass by value. Yeah, correct. Java is pass by value. So I'll give you an example. Why is it pass by value? So you know the local primitive variables. So I'll create a local primitive variable int a equals to 2. Why is it local primitive variable? Because it is initiated inside this particular method scope. That is why it is local and this is primitive. So primitive values, I'm going to create a particular method, say public static. Why static? Because I want to access this method in my static void main, and to access a particular static method you have to make that particular method also static. So public static void change primitives, okay, and I pass my int a copy. Fine. So what is my int value? It is nothing but 2. Now I am going to call this method just after initialization of a, and I will pass a into it. Fine. And I'm going to print the value of a. Value of a is plus and a. Fine. And I'll comment this for you once. And in this particular thing, I'm going to do nothing, but I'm going to change the value of this. So I'm going to make it 12. From 2 to 12. I'll make it 3 rather, because it will otherwise confuse you with the instance variable value, which is i's. So my a variable value is 3, and when I'm calling a particular method, its value is changed to 13. Now as I've said, Java is by default pass by value. So what will happen whenever I try to send this a, what will Java do? It will copy this value 3 into a different memory location It will pass into this particular variable is method, and this particular variable has this another memory location, but the value is same, that is 3. It is changed to 13, but when I try to print it, it will remain the same 3. Why? Because it is passed by value. It was just a copy, and changing a particular copy will not affect the original value of A. Hence, you can find it is still 3. It is not at all 13, which is the new value done by this particular method. So hence I have proved myself that Java is passed by value. But wait, just for a second, consider a scenario that a particular interviewer asks this particular candidate that if I pass a particular object references, then will this value change or not? So for that example, let's take this particular animal object. So this is my animal class. I'm creating an object of it. Now this is particular instance variable I. I'm going to put this as 2. Right, and I will remove this for you once so that you are not confused, and I will uncomment this also. Okay, and I'm changing this method to change object reference. So this is a particular thing you have to understand very carefully. Now I'm going to pass my animal object copy. Fine. So what will you think? Now I am going to change this animal object copy dot eyes to from 2 to 12. Fine. And now after changing that particular thing to 12, what I will do, I will call this particular method and pass my reference to it. What reference? Animal object reference to it. Okay. So what will happen? Now I have a reference to it. This animal reference goes into it. Its size changes to 12. Now what will you think? You will think that now the eyes will remain 2. But when you try to run it, you will see a change that is 12. So how does this happen? Why does this happen? This happens because this by default it is passed by value. But what you are passing here is a reference. So I've already told you in my previous videos that when this is particular reference to a memory location. So what you are passing it by value, but what you are passing, you are actually passing the memory address itself. And since you are passing the memory address itself, you are going to change something at that memory address, and hence it is being reflected here, else it will not. So by default, all the object references whenever passed into a particular method will make you feel that it is passed by reference because you are getting changed value out of it. But it is not passed by reference, actually it is passed by value only. It's just that you are passing the reference as a value. If you still find this particular thing difficult to understand, please let me know in the comment section. I'll make it more.